Call of Duty just released a patch addressing weapon balancing with massive changes, as well as footstep audio and other audio adjustments as well. We're going to be discussing the weapons mostly in this video, talking about the pros and the cons of these updates, and does it actually matter? Is it actually going to change? Or are we looking at the same thing they did with RPK and Warzone 2, where they just nerfed it, and finally after 3 months, it was actually nerfed. And quickly, if you guys are into Warzone tips, Warzone breakdowns, as well as patch note updates, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, but let's go ahead and dive into the patch notes. Guys, we got a massive update. This is something I was hoping we'd get yesterday, and honestly, it was a huge vibe kill that we didn't, but they did release it today. Massive weapon changes that we're going to be going over, equipment changes, resurgence changes you need to be aware of to hopefully make the flow better. So let's go ahead and discuss it. And if I see anything questionable, we'll definitely get in conversation. And I'd like for you guys to respond in the comments. What do you think's good? What do you think's bad as we're going through the list? All right, first up, addressed an issue experienced by some players that caused previously unlocked items to become unavailable to equip. Weapons and attachments. This is something I'm very excited to get into. I think there's more than just this. Yeah, we got way more. All right, cool. I don't know why they separated like that, but it is what it is. Assault rifles, the Ram 7. Speedway V5 short barrel attachment is now available, so added a new attachment to that. Equipment, breacher drone. It's a really good lethal, maybe too lethal. Improved impact detection to prevent inflicting more explosive damage to players than intended. I've been one shot many times by hitting a wall near me, and it just needed to be addressed. When it comes to customizations, it looks like they just fixed a few emblems and some bundle issues that people were having where when they equipped it, it came up as a default skin. So that's now been addressed if you ran into that. Warzone. Now, before we get into this, the entire first 5 days of Warzone, I think, was amazing. I rated it an 8.5 out of 10. But once people started figuring out the metas with the MTZ Interceptor, and I mean, the meta list goes on of the broken weapons, the game became almost unbearable. Team stack, camping on rooftops, just holding you with the most OP weapons. Whether you had smokes, whether you had great tactics, most of the time, it didn't really matter. It was more of luck on who was around you, whether you could survive or not. So let's hope that these changes make a substantial impact. When it comes to Battle Royale Strongholds, you got a little adjustment. A black site key will only be rewarded to the first time a stronghold is completed. Subsequent captures by the squads will not reward a key. Resurgence Redeployment. The Resurgence Redeployment mechanic will now be disabled at the end of the Circle 3. To be fair, it's going to kind of slow down Resurgence, which I don't know. I think me and basically everyone else like the flow of Resurgence. Let me know in the comment section if I'm alone in that one. Public events have been disabled in Circle 1 and 2. Chances for a public event occurring in later circles has been adjusted as well. All right, real quick in the nitty gritty, this is something I'm excited for. And of course, you can already see the assault rifle. They're attacking the DG. Maximum damage reduced to 32 from 40. Pretty big reduction. Like I said in my streams, the DG56 felt like a really good gun. I love the recoil. I love how it's viable, but it needs to be a 5 to 6 round burst to be able to kill somebody. Hitting 2 or 3 round bursts to knock an enemy is just, it's hard for any player to contest. Of course, if you're on the giving end of it, it's fun to use. If you're on the receiving end of it, we all know it needs to be adjusted a little bit, even if it's your favorite weapon. When it comes to FR, maximum damage reduced to 35 from 43. Basically the same. It's going down by 8. Battle rifles, the BAS-B. All right, max damage reduced to 35 from 39. Minimum damage reduced to 25 from 27. We'll see how this turns out. I think it needs to be nerfed a little bit more, to be honest. It's going to remind us of the RPK, where they're going to nerf it and then nerf it and then nerf it into non-existent. So it's probably going to take a few tweaks. I may be wrong on this. We'll see as the games go on throughout the week. But keep your eye on the BAS-B. I'll probably be playing with it a lot just to see how much it actually changed. When it comes to the handguns, oh, this is a big one. The Core 45 Akimbo reduced to 30 from 45. That's the biggest nerf they have in here so far. The Renetti as well, 22. They've nerfed it 2 from 33. So yeah, this one went down by 15 points. This one went down by 11. Also, the headshot multiplier reduced to 1.2 from 1.4. That's going to be a big nerf on these things. And honestly, again, they're nasty weapons. If you were on the receiving end of this, you know it was just one burst, you were dead, especially point blank. So the fact that they nerfed this drastically, definitely needed. Marksman rifles, the DM56, maximum damage reduced to 41 from 50. Pretty substantial. Minimum damage reduced to 37 from 39. Not too much, but I think overall the DM56 will be in a decent spot. It wasn't really a crazy broken weapon compared to the others, but we all know if the others weren't a thing, that would be a problem. The KVD Enforcer headshot multiplier reduced to a 1.8 from a 2.2. That's a pretty big, substantial one. The MTZ Interceptor is going to be headshot multiplier reduced to 1.5 from a 2. Okay, I'm curious about that. The gun fires fast. It's only the headshot multiplier they've attacked, not the overall damage. I think this is still going to be a problem. Most players don't hit their headshots anyway, and they can still melt you with it. So I think this is still going to be the meta. I could be wrong. Again, we'll see over the next few days, but I don't know. The MTZ Interceptor scares the shit out of me. It is the most broken weapon in my eyes up until this point. So I still think that MTZ is going to be a massive problem. Keep your eye on that one. MTZ and going back up to the BAS-B, I think are still going to be the meta. They should have attacked this one a little bit more. It's always good to nerf a gun into oblivion and then work it back up, then just kind of slowly nerfing it. Again, with the RPK meta, we had that for 3 seasons before it really saw an actual impact. When it comes to the TYR Akimbo, maximum damage reduced to 70 from 120. Holy shit. All right, coming to the shotgun, the Haymaker. I'm actually happy they didn't touch the Lockwood. The Lockwood requires movement, a lot of skill. And again, if you're going point blank against a lot of these weapons, you're going to get blown away most of the time. Before we dive into SMGs, I do think SMGs are in a very good spot. I don't think the TTK really is crazy compared to the other weapons. You have the Swarm, which of course will melt you, but you have to be close. There's a sacrifice. You have no range at all on that gun. So I do think SMGs are in a good spot, but let's get into SMGs. The Fennec 45, MW2 gun, only thing being touched. I like that. Maximum damage reduced to 22 from 25. Definitely a broken weapon, not as broken as a lot of these other ones, but I think nerfing this and getting it on a level playing field to MW3 SMGs is a great choice. Headshot multiplier also reduced to a 1.25 from a 1.3. Lower torso multiplier reduced to a 1 from a 1.1. Again, not super substantial, but again, I think it'll balance it out with the rest of the SMGs. When it comes to audio, I know everyone experiences this, so it's a level playing field, but if you're on the receiving end of no footsteps, it's impossible. How many times have you guys been in a building and you hear nothing, so you think no one's in there, and the next thing you know, you're dead, and the kill cam, you got a full 4-man squad sprinting towards you. I experienced that almost every game, just like you guys, so it's going to be nice to see what they do. And again, their audio has never been the best, so it might take a few adjustments. This isn't going to be a fix-all, but a little bit of balancing would be nice. So rebounds first person and enemy footstep audio. Since the launch of Warzone 1 last week, we've been actively listening to player feedback regarding audio concerns in Warzone, especially related to footsteps. The initial update is aimed at addressing part of these concerns and enhancing overall experience before we head into the holidays. You guys know when Christmas break comes around, they're going to be away for about 2 to 3 weeks. So it's good that they're addressing this before they actually leave. Hopefully it's good enough to actually make this game playable. When making changes such as this, there's a complex mix of variables, I'm sure, no doubt about that. We need to meticulously look at and consider. One of the primary factors to consider is the fidelity of the experience across the titles to avoid a large gap between Warzone, multiplayer, and zombies. And they go on to just explain why it's so important. Please know that we're committed to ongoing improvements and ensuring that the players can fully immerse themselves in a game while maintaining the competitive edge. They don't go into depth. I really wish they kind of went into depth on what they actually fixed. But bug fixes, fix collision issues with various elements across Urkistan, allowing players to exploit, peek, and shoot through them. Fix an issue that allowed players to get stuck in locked buildings. Yeah, you'd fall right through. Fix additional issues with incorrect text appearing in challenges. That's really kind of it. The meta, again, I think is the biggest thing that I was looking forward to. Of course, the audio, but I'm never really having my hopes up with that. Still concerned with the MTZ overall. I don't think it's enough. Again, body damage is pretty crazy on that gun, but we'll see as the days go on. Guys, thank you all for watching. This is a quick video. I just wanted to cover the patch notes. Make sure you guys tune into the video tonight that I'm posting at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. We'll be covering Teep and his squad and going in depth on how they're actually playing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.